254 is the gematria of Chamor. And it's also 1454 in army time. And it's Makos, 22b, and Makos 22 has the numerical value of 488, which is equal to Tzva HaShemayim, the host of heaven. And it also equals Patach, which means to open, and it also equals Hitchil, which means to begin. Oh, Matchil, which is to begin. So, with that, let's continue. Chav Bet, Amud Bet. Today is the 16th day of the Omer, and the Daf for today is 21, not 22. I'm doing 22 because I'm doing tomorrow's Daf. So, please don't get confused. But anyway, top of the page. V'amdu she'en yachol lekabel alboim potel. Amadu lekabel shmoyne esrei. And they assessed him again, and they concluded that he cannot receive 40 lashes and survive. He is exempt from the additional lashes. If the doctors initially assessed concerning him that he is able to receive only 18 lashes, and once he was flogged 18 times, they assessed that he is able to receive 40, he is exempt from receiving additional lashes. And that's the Mishnah. That's the Mishnah, folks. Gemara, the Talmud says, my taima, iksiv arbaim b'misbar, hava min arbaim b'minyana, hashtu iksiv b'misbar arbaim, minayin shehu sochem et arbaim. Amarave, kama tavshoi, shari nashi, תקיים וקיים ספר תוירה ולא קיים ולעב רבו דין בספר תוירה בוים בתרבון בצער החודם. The Gemara begins with a discussion of the number of lashes. Lashes. As I mentioned yesterday, there used to be, or maybe the day before, there used to be an insurance commercial, auto insurance, called Dashers. And their jargon, their jingle was Dashers. So every time I see lashes, they go, lashes. Reminds me of that commercial. What is the reason for the rabbis? Where was that? Yeah. The Gemara begins with a discussion of the number of lashes. What is the reason that the rabbis said that he receives 40 lashes less one? If it had been written 40 by number, I would say that it means 40 as a precise sum. Now that it's written by number 40, the reference is to a sum that approaches 40. By number, 40. It's a number close to 40. Likewise, Rava said, how foolish are the rest of the people who stand before a Torah scroll that passes before them, and yet they do not stand before a great man when a sage passes before them. As in a Torah scroll, 40 is written, and the sages came and subtracted 1, establishing the number of lashes as 39. Apparently, the authority of the sages is so great that they are able to amend an explicit Torah verse. Another thought came to mind, that 40 lashes, the number 40 equals Goel, Redeemer. So if we adhere to the Redeemer, we may not have to have any lashes at all. Rav Yehuda Omer, Arbaim Shleimos v'chulei. Amar Yitzchak, Ma'itay Rav Yehuda, Tichsiv Makos Eile ben Yadecha. Oh, this is in Zechariah. Interesting. Makos Eile ben Yadecha. ואמר אשר היוקתי בית מאהבי רבנן אהבו מתינוק של בית רבן. The Mishnah teaches, Rabbi Yehuda says he is flogged with a full 40 lashes. with the additional lash administered between his shoulders. Rabbi Yitzchak says, what is the reason for the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda? It is, as it is written, and one shall say to him, what are these wounds between your arms? Then he shall answer, those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Zechariah 13:6. Rabbi Yehuda understands that this verse is referring to one with wounds from lashes administered between his arms, indicating that there is one lash administered between the shoulders. And how do the rabbis who hold that one is flogged only 39 lashes explain this verse? They explain that this verse is written with regard to school children struck by their teacher for laxity in their studies. How do they get that? And it is not referring to lashes administered by the court. School children? How do you get that? And they have wounds in their arms? Okay. אין עומדים אלא במעקס הרויס וכולי. לא קיים, אין לגלוי, אין לגלוי. The Mishnah teaches one assesses the number of lashes that the one being punished is capable of withstanding only with a number of lashes fit to be divided into 3 equal groups. If doctors assessed concerning him that he is able to receive 40 lashes and survive, and he is then flogged some of those 40 lashes, and they then assessed him again and concluded that he cannot receive 40 lashes and survive, he is exempt from any additional lashes. If the doctors initially assessed concerning him that he is able to receive only 18 lashes, and once he was flogged with 18 lashes, they assessed that he is able to receive 40, he is exempt from receiving further lashes. The Gemara infers, if he was flogged in practice, yes, he is exempt. If he was not flogged, no, he is not exempt from the rest of the 40 lashes. עמדו לקבל 40 חזרו ועמדו שאין יכול לקבל 40 בוטו. עמדו לקבל 18 וחזרו עמדו שיכול לקבל 40 בוטו. And the Gemara raises a contradiction from a brisa. If doctors assessed concerning him that he is able to receive 40 lashes and survive, and they then assessed him again and concluded that he cannot receive 40 lashes and survive, he is exempt. If the doctors initially assessed concerning him that he is able to receive only 18 lashes, and they then assess that he is able to receive 40, he is exempt. Apparently, even if he did not receive any lashes, if the assessment changes, it is as though he was flogged. Amar sheishes lo ikashia, hadi amaduhu leyoibe, hadi amaduhu lemacho ulema. Rav Sheshet says this is not difficult, as this case in the Mishnah is one where doctors assess his fitness to receive lashes for that day, and there was no change in his condition. Rather, it was discovered that the initial assessment was mistaken. He is exempt only if he was already flogged. If not, another assessment is performed. That case in the Braita is where doctors assess his fitness to receive lashes for the next day or for a different day. In that case, the initial assessment was accurate. It is his condition that changed. Therefore, if it is determined that he is unable to receive lashes, he is exempt. And that does it for the Talmud on that Mishnah. And now a new Mishnah. Avar avera sheyesh ba shnei lavin amdu oimed echad loike upatur bimlav loike umitrape mechozer veloike. If one performed a transgression that involves two prohibitions, and they assessed concerning him a single assessment of the number of lashes that he could withstand in punishment for both transgressions, he is flogged in accordance with their assessment and is exempt from any additional lashes. And if not, if he was assessed with regard to the lashes that he could withstand for one transgression, he is flogged and is allowed to heal, and then is flogged again for violating the second prohibition. That's the Mishnah. Zog to Gemara, Zog to Gemara. Ve'atanya ein oimed echad shnei lavin. The case of the Mishnah is one where there is one assessment performed for two sets of lashes. The Gemara asks, but isn't it taught in Brayta that one does not perform one assessment for two prohibitions? Amar Rav Sheshes Lagashi. Rav Sheshes says this is not difficult. This ruling in the Brayta that one does not perform a single assessment for two prohibitions is in a case where a doctor is assessed concerning him that he is able to receive 41 lashes. 2 lashes beyond a full set, since those 2 additional lashes are not divisible by 3, which is a requirement based on the previous Mishnah, he receives only 39 lashes. That constitutes just one set of lashes. He remains liable to receive another set of lashes after he recovers, requiring another assessment and another set of lashes. That ruling in the Mishnah that one performs a single assessment for 2 prohibitions is in a case where doctors assess concerning him that he is able to receive 42 lashes. In that case, it is possible to ascribe 39 lashes to one prohibition and 3 additional lashes to the second prohibition. That is tantamount to 2 separate assessments, although in practice only one assessment was performed. That does it for the Mishnah there, that Gemara for that Mishnah. New Mishnah. Ketzad Malikin Oisui Koif Ishteyod Valamud Helach Vehelach Mechaz Agnesis Loichas Bibigolov Im Nikru Nikru Im Niframu Niframu Ad Shu Migares Diboy Veo Evidus Meachov Chazan Agnesis Amin Lov Matsu Yodoi של עגל כפולה, 1 ל-2 ו2 ל-4, 2 רצוע של חמור, אוי לא יזיור לא יסבור. ידע טפח ורחבה טפח, וראש מגעת על פי כסו. And how do they flog him? He ties the 2 hands of the person being flogged on this side and that side of a post, and the attendant of the congregation takes hold of his garments to remove them. If they were ripped in the process, they were ripped. And if they were unraveled, they were unraveled. He continues until he bares his chest. And the stone upon which the attendant stands when flogging is situated behind the person being flogged. The attendant of the congregation stands on it with a strap in his hand. It is a strap of calf hide and is doubled 1 into 2 and 2 into 4, and 2 straps of a donkey hide go up and down the double strap of the calf hide. The length of its handle is 1 handbreadth, and the width of the straps is 1 handbreadth, and the strap must be long enough so that its end reaches the top of his abdomen and his navel, and he is flogged from behind. When he is flogged from behind. And the attendant flogs him with 1/3 of the lashes in front of him on his chest, and 2 1/3 portions from behind him on his back. And he does not flog him when the one receiving lashes is standing, nor when he is sitting. Rather, he flogs him when he is hunched, as it is stated, and the judge shall cause him to lie down and strike him. Deuteronomy 25:2, which indicates that the one receiving lashes must be in a position that approximates lying down. אם לא תשמור לעשות וגויים רבי יפלי ויפלו השם את מקויסך ואת מקויס וגויים מקויס ותחילה עשה מקרה ושמרתם את דברי הברית הזו וגויים מקויס ומורחו מחבר אבוים וגויים מקויס ותחילה עשה מקרה. And the attendant flogging the one receiving lashes flogs him with one hand with all his strength, and the court crier recites the verse, and if you do not observe to perform all the words of this law that are written in this book, that you may fear the glorious and awesome name of the Lord your God, and the Lord will make your plagues outstanding, and the plagues of your descendants, and even great plagues, and of long continuance, and severe sicknesses, and of long continuance. Deuteronomy 28:58-59. And then he returns to the beginning of the verse. He also recites, and you shall observe the matters of this covenant and do them, that you may make all that you do to prosper. Deuteronomy 29:8. And concludes the verse, and he is merciful and shall atone for transgression and destroys not. And many a time does he turn his anger away and does not stir up all his wrath. Psalms 78:38, and then returns to the beginning of the verse that states, if you do not observe to perform. V'im meis tachas yodoi patu, ho'yosif lo yodotzu achas u'meis, ha'rei ze goy lo yodoi, iskalkel ben berei ben b'mayim patu. Rabbi Yehuda mel ha'ish berei v'ish b'mayim. If the one being flogged dies at the hand of the attendant, the latter is exempt because he acted at the directive of the court. If the attendant added for him an additional lash with a strap and he died, the attendant is exiled to a city of refuge on his account as an unwitting murderer. If the one being flogged involuntarily sullies himself due to fear or pain, whether with excrement or with urine, he is exempt from further lashes. Rabbi Yehuda says that the threshold of shame for men and women is different. The man is exempted if he sullies himself with excrement, and the woman is exempted even with urine. Nice. I say that, sarcastically.